story sounds like it could come from science fiction. We're talking about new technology that may someday transform the lives of people who are paralyzed. A small clinical trial is now underway on a brain implant that captures your thoughts and then turns those thoughts into language. It's meant for patients whose bodies are unable to process messages from the brain because of a stroke or ALS or multiple what's the word here?
Sclerosis.
Sclerosis, he's trying to say. Eventually, it could also help people injured in car crashes or on the battlefield. Chief medical correspondent and birthday boy today, by the way, Dr. John LaPook, shows us how it works.
At his home in Melbourne, Australia, 62-year-old Philip O'Keefe struggles to do the simple things many of us take for granted.
Getting dressed, washing myself, cleaning my teeth, feeding myself, all those things are severely restricted.
ALS took away his ability to control his hands and body. When you heard that there was a device that could use your thoughts to operate a mouse, what did you think?
I laughed. I thought, this is science fiction type stuff.
But it's not the realm of science fiction anymore. In April of 2020, O'Keefe became one of the first patients to receive a Stentrode brain-computer interface implant.
This is the Stentrode. That's the device that goes inside the blood vessel.
Dr. Tom Oxley, CEO of New York City-based Synchron, leads the development of the device.
We've figured out how to deliver the sensors into the brain without open brain surgery. That's the huge advance here.
Inserted through the jugular vein, the device is implanted in the area of the brain that controls movement. Signals captured by a receiver in the chest are sent wirelessly to a device that decodes thoughts into commands for a digital device.
The clinical study that we're running is purely for digital device control for people whose hands no longer control digital devices.
O'Keefe demonstrated his computer skills by writing me this note. His thoughts focused on a mouse clicking letter by letter. The technology has the potential to help a range of patients whose bodies are unable to receive messages from the brain.
I'm online banking. I can sort my emails. I can surf the web. I can do most things that you can do using your hands to regain that independence.
Can you imagine a time in the future when we can beam how we are feeling to somebody else?
Yes, I do think that brain-computer interfaces eventually go into that realm, but that's a long way away.
Clinical trials are continuing, and so far, 5 people have received the implant, including one in New York City.
This gave me a reason to keep on living. But 2 years ago, I would have gone, oh, what's the point? But now I'm involved in this, and it's just been the most exciting 2 years of my life.
And that, to Philip O'Keefe, is mind-boggling. For CBS Mornings, I'm Dr. John LaPook.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I love to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to Elder Tahar and the rest of the elders that are firmly pushing this truth. And as always, peace and blessings unto the elect. So as you can see, hey man, this the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, is inching in closer and closer. And Esau is going to play on the vulnerable people of this earth that's in the state that guy is in, right? And that goes into the false miracles of Esau to deceive the masses into taking it, right? But this is Habakkuk chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. That's right. So we see these prophecies speaking. It's not lying. Hey, the mark of the beast is right around the corner. Man, they're about to institute this thing. It says, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So Esau is trying to push his agenda. Now, it says one patient says it's giving him a reason to keep on living. And everybody is going to fall for the false miracles of Esau. This is 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. And I'm going to jump down to I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, "Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know that it's like, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time." Talking about the wicked, or the son of perdition, which is dealing with the so-called white man. "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way." And who's going to take him out the way? The Heavenly Father. "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Hadawan shall consume with the spirit of his mouth," which is dealing with the prophets, "and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." Watch this. "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders." That's right. This is a power, sign, and lying wonder. Right? This is Esau's miracles on the left-hand side. See that? Because ultimately what Esau is trying to do, he's trying to imitate Yahweh Shah. He's trying to imitate that power on the left-hand side. Because what was the Lord doing when he was on earth? He was the one that was making the blind to see. He was the one that was making the lame to walk again. And that's what Esau is trying to do. Esau is trying to do it with his carnal mark, which is his RFID microchip. Which really, Esau is really pushing that Neuralink thing. And like I said, he's going to play on the emotions of these people. And this goes right back to that movie Upgrade. Right? If you haven't seen the movie Upgrade, I suggest you go see it. It's on, I believe it's on Netflix too, but I seen it on Prime. Upgrade. It's a great movie. And basically, that movie shows, yep, here we go, right here. That movie shows that if you get that chip implanted into you, you will be able to walk again. And that's dealing with Esau's false miracles. Or you will be able to walk again. You will no longer be paralyzed, because in the movie, this guy became paralyzed. He was involved in a car accident, which was planned, just so that STEM, because that's the name of the chip in the movie, just so that the chip can be tested out on him. And he basically became a robot. This guy right here, and the chip overtook him eventually. So that's Esau's plan. Esau's plan is to merge man with technology, which ultimately is not going to come to pass. So in the Psalms chapter 33 and verse 10, it says, "Yahweh bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people of none effect." That's right. So the plans of Esau is going to be unto none effect. Because Esau is going to get his foot in the door, so to speak, with his New World Order, with his agenda. But ultimately, it's not going to come fully to pass. Right? Because if Esau really had this thing come to pass, that means that it's over. Hey, but the Heavenly Father is going to have it to where it's not. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 21, and starting verse 8, it says, "Thy hand shall find out all thy enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. Yahweh shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. For they intended evil against thee. They imagined a mischievous device," which when you go into the word device means plans, plots, "which they are not able to perform." See that? So the Heavenly Father is going to ultimately not let them get their issue off 100%. Like I said, they're going to get their foot in the door, so to speak, but they're not going to be able to complete it 100%. This is Job chapter 20, and this is beautiful news. Job chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly," dealing with this New World Order, "the Heavenly Father shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating." You see that? So banking, so that a banking elite family, they're not going to be able to fill their belly. They're not going to be able to fulfill their agenda, which is their New World Order, which is the image of the beast. Pursuing the Revelation, the 13th chapter. So this is Revelation 13. Revelation 13, starting at verse. Let me see. I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." That's right. And that two horns like a lamb, or that's dealing with the that's dealing with the Democrats and the Republicans, which ultimately goes back to the ancient Roman Empire, are the plebeians and the patricians. You had one side that sided with the rich, and you had one side that was siding with the poor, just like the Democrats and the Republicans today. Verse 12, "And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." Verse 13, "And he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men." Verse 14, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast." And what is those miracles? Those miracles is talking about the technology, all right? That the so-called technology of the so-called white man, his false miracles. Because what is a miracle? Let's go into that word, miracle. Oh, Shalakia. So miracle. So you go into the word for miracle, it says a wondrous work. So people are going to think that this is a wondrous work. Something that excites wonder or astonishment. Extraordinary or remarkable feat, are without regard to divinity or supernatural power. And that's what Esau is trying to mimic on the left-hand side. You see that? Wonderful, astonishing, amazing, right? Because one that was paralyzed and gets something inserted into them and they're able to walk again, people's going to be like, "Oh, wow, that's a miracle. Wow." Everybody's going to be amazed at that. But it's the miracles on the left-hand side. This is not the power that is coming from the Heavenly Father. This is Esau trying to be like the Heavenly Father. He's trying to be like Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Right? He has to falsify shit. Because Esau is ultimately trying to replace the Most High. Is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 10. Actually, Isaiah 14. Where is it at? Bear with me one moment, trying to find that. Thought it was the 10th verse. Yeah, here we go. Isaiah 14 and 14. Isaiah 14 and 14. It's my matter of fact, I'm starting verse 13. It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." See that? Esau wants to be like the Most High. And that's why he's coming out with that chip, which is the mark of the beast. Because what it say? It says a small clinical trial is underway on a brain implant that captures thoughts and turns them into language. Esau is trying to see what you're thinking, or he's trying to track down what you buy, everything, every single thing. He's trying to have complete control over the people. And that's how the Heavenly Father operates. The Heavenly Father has complete control over the people. And that's what Esau wants to do. He wants to have control over the people, which ultimately it's not going to come to pass, like I read. So back to Revelation 13 and 14. "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And the image of the beast is not dealing with a picture of Cesare Borgia or Caesar Borgia. Now it's a part of the image of the beast, right? But really the image of the beast goes back to the ancient Roman system, right? This is dealing with the philosophy of the so-called white man. Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast so both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That's right. If you're not down with Esau's New World Order, Esau is going to want to put you to death, ultimately. Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. See that? So if you don't get it, you're not going to be able to participate in life. All right, Esau wants you to be 100% down with his agenda, and there's a judgment for getting it. All right, this man's smiling and he's all happy. All right, your ass is going to get burnt up, and it's going to be, and that's a risk. All right, it's a risk to taking it. Let's go ahead and grab this real quick. Revelation, the 16th chapter. Revelation 16 and verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sword upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship the image. See that? So you're severely going to get judged for taking it, because that shows that you're in alliance with the so-called white man. See? So Revelation 14. Hey, look at this. Doom for worshipers of the beast. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, showing you that you can get it in either hand, your right or left hand. Because you will have people say, oh, well, what if I get it in my left hand? Well, in Revelation, the 14th chapter, it says, or in your hand. So it doesn't specify which hand. So right hand, left hand, middle hand, you're going to die. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Heavenly Father, basically going to get judged, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. That's right. So you're going to be, so basically you're going to be burnt up for a long period of time. That's what it means by forever and ever, for a long period of time. Let me go ahead and get this in the book of Baruch real fast. All right, that's not dealing with, the underground world where you're just going to be burning perpetually. All right, that's just dealing with a long period of time. This is Baruch. All right, because ultimately everybody's going to be reincarnated back into the kingdom of heaven. So this is Baruch chapter 4. Baruch the 4th chapter and verse 35. It says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting. And that fire is dealing with the nukes. Long to endure. And she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. See that? Long to endure. So it's just going to be a long period of time for those that take the mark of the beast to endure that lake of fire. It's going to feel like a long period of time, right? Just like how when somebody's late, and you say, damn, man, you was taking forever. But did it literally take until the end of eternity? No, the individual who was late was just taking a long ass time. So that's how it's going to be with the individuals that take the mark. Your ass is just going to be tormented for a long period of time. So as you can see, man, we're here. All right, we're here. We're clearly at the door. We're clearly at the door. And these prophecies are coming to pass. We're at the end of the world. This is what we're looking for. We're really mainly looking for this brain implant. All right, this chip. This is what we're looking for. So shit can start really get moving even quicker and quicker. All right, so with that, Yahweh Dazah, if you brothers and sisters were edified, till next time, Shalom.